Hey, it's just so Trish, and this is the Family Frugal Food Collab. So I am absolutely excited. It's 2017. We're kicking off the month of January with the Frugal Family Food on healthy frugal family meals. I am making a large batch red sauce, or spaghetti sauce really. And what's cool is this is a wonderful, amazing, frugal meal. You make it in bulk, and you're actually going to put food up in your freezer or can it so you have it later. So it's kind of a cook once, have several meals later, doing a little freezer investment. And it is wonderful for pretty much any diet as long as you do tomatoes. It is a fan favorite in my house. I've been cooking this for years. So here we go. Okay, if you have not been part of the Frugal Family Food, or if Frugal Family Food is new for you, there is a wonderful Facebook group that's absolutely amazing. Everybody's sharing meal plans and ideas on finding a frugal family alternative. So you need to go check that out. I'm going to put the link below. Frugal Family Food is founded by two co-founders, the Fundamental Home and Tangi the Caver's Wife. So I'm going to also put links to their channels below. Now, I'm a mom of 6, so you're gonna hear babies, and I homeschool. So I like to find really easy ways that I can get the family fed and I'm maintaining health. One of the reasons, and I feel so blessed that Amanda has allowed me to be the first Frugal Family Food of the year and for the Health Week, is because if you look at my video from last year when I did the Frugal Family Food, which I'll stick right there, with chicken and yellow rice. If you go over there, I look significantly different. I spent 2016 losing 35 pounds, and this is one of my go-to recipes to get it done. So it's okay if you're doing paleo, it's okay if you're doing Trim Healthy Mama, it's great if you're doing Weight Watchers. I even think you're there for Whole30, even though I don't know much about it. And it's awesome if you're doing just strictly calorie counting. So with that said, I have a link below, so a little different. I've actually made you a recipe card, so you know, you can come back here and check it out. And the recipe cards here, it's a photo 4x6 that you can print off, and I'm gonna have that link below so you can have this recipe card too. One thing to note about this recipe is it requires half a cup of sugar. Now this recipe makes 41 cup servings, which is 10 quarts, which is 2.5 gallons. So looking at that, no, it's not a half cup of sugar, it's a quarter cup of sugar. If you are concerned about calories and carbs, here's something to know. A quarter cup of sugar is 193 calories. So it's 193 calories or 50 carbs. Okay, 50 carbs or 193 calories comes up for 1 cup serving 5 calories or 1 gram of carb. So if that's a concern for you, you need to know that. But it's pretty much marginal. For me, in the way that I make this recipe, I use a stevia alternative. I prefer stevia, and this one used maltodextrin as the additive to the stevia, because if you use stevia, like there's a tiny little like 1/32 of a teaspoon is the equivalent of like a tablespoon or something like that. It's crazy. So what I like is I actually like using the blends because it measures cup for cup. So I know how much to use. You can also use pure, which this one's actually mixed with erythritol. You just need to find like what works for you, or maybe this isn't a concern and you just use sugar. Just know when it comes out, it's for 1 cup serving, it's 1 gram of sugar. So the main parts of this recipe that make this great is it's tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. So I use these large cans. These large cans are kind of my go-to with having a large family, 8 of us that we feed. But if you're growing your tomatoes, or if you can get bulk tomatoes, you can just as easily use this. So let me tell you what we're using. All right, we're going to be using 48 ounces of tomato paste. Then you're going to be using 106 ounce or 102 ounce. They're called number 10 cans, but they're huge. It's just a number 10 can of diced tomatoes, and a number 10 can of tomato sauce. Dried parsley, I have more, but dried parsley. And you're gonna use half a cup of dried parsley. You're gonna use half a cup of minced onions. And I don't know if that's supposed to be dried or not, but I always use dried because it's easier on me. And then you're going to use half a cup of minced garlic. You're going to use a 1/4 cup of sugar or the sweetener that you prefer. You're going to use 2 tablespoons of salt. You're going to do 2 teaspoons of oregano, 2 teaspoons of basil, 2 teaspoons of thyme. And then that's it. But I have a secret to this recipe that I'm not including because it's not a mandatory thing. I buy this at Sam's. This stuff is fantastic. It has such a neat, very Tuscan garlic flavor, hence it's Tuscan garlic. And I like to add an extra 2 tablespoons of this into the sauce. Personal choice. If you don't have it, not a big deal. But I like the way it enriches the flavor. I wish I was sponsored. This stuff's fantastic. So I'll also be adding this. All right? Not bad. All right, so all you're really gonna do is heat up. You're gonna add water, and you're gonna use the hot water. Again, recipes below. You're gonna add 8 cups of hot water just to break up the tomato paste and make it, you know, unified. You're gonna add all your ingredients except the sauce and the diced tomatoes. You're gonna add them all up. You're gonna get it all mixed, and you're gonna stir it in. You're going to add your diced tomatoes and your sauce, and you're not cooking it. Wait, what? You are not cooking it. I'm using the big pot because I have to get it mixed up. It's 2.5 gallons. I use the big pot. But what it is you're putting it in the freezer. Putting it in the freezer. You don't want to cook it. You don't want to double cook your food. So you're going to let it be. You're going to let it finish cooling off. You're going to Ziploc bag it. I typically do almost 3 quarts per gallon Ziploc bag so they lay flat. I layer them flat and I put them in the freezer. Simple as that. Pull them out. I've canned it because when times I don't have enough room, it cans up real nice, and typically I can it like I'm canning tomatoes, and I use those directions. That's all you do. When you need it, you pull it out, you defrost it, you simmer it for 20 minutes, you add your ground beef, simmer it for 20 minutes. Fresh, wonderful spaghetti sauce. I use it on my lasagnas, my pastas, my spaghettis, all the time. This is our favorite sauce, and I love being able to make it once. So I'm going to speed play you through the rest of it. Very important, freezer bags. It was beautiful, and I've cleaned my freezer out twice, and I couldn't figure out what the problem was. So I'm gonna have to find all the containers I can. If you have mason jars, you can also freeze in mason jars. I'm gonna freeze them in this. I thought they were freezer bags. These make great ways to fill your freezer 1 gallon bags. So one of the things you saw me do was, before I even began, I actually spooned it into a crock pot. That is for my meal tonight. I am doing a pound of ground turkey because it's lower in calories, it's lower in points, and that's what works for my family. And then I will make pasta for my family. And then for me, I'll either do a spaghetti squash or I'll do zoodles with the zucchini. And that's how I end up eating spaghetti sauce. And the reality for Weight Watchers is the only calories I'm actually counting are that of the ground turkey. Not a bad deal. I can eat quite a bit for low points, and that's how I've been staying healthy while cooking frugal and cooking healthy and being prepared for the trenches of mommyhood. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out the Frugal Family Food. This recipe is part of the Fix It, Freeze It, Feast book that I'll put a link to Amazon if you want to check it out in the description below. And if you totally liked my can opener, I'll put a link down there before. But as a mom of 6 kids, this is my lifesaver. So I will talk to you later. Peace out.